Welcome to Success with a Structure Deck. My name is Puzzlomino and welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoy your stay. For those of you who this is your first time here, in this series we take structure decks you can buy off the store shelves, build a deck, and see what happens. We'll cover the important monsters, spells, and traps featured in the structure deck, showcase some combos you can do with the deck, then go through a deck profile. After I summarize the pros and cons of the deck, I'll give you a few suggestions on what to buy next should you want to invest further. But what are we going to showcase today? Well...
As much as I'd love to say that we have any content, we don't. I've been stuck on this nice beautiful ocean for like 3 months, and frankly, I don't want to get off. So what? Like tired now? More like extended break. How about this? You have one week. I win. I get to take over your channel for one video. Wait, how are we even going to do this? We are stuck on a boat. We have no mats, no sleeves, no nothing like that. How are we? Oh no, that's a lie. Okay, so that's a lie. But I didn't even bring my deck. They said that I couldn't bring any carcinogens on board, and Brandon apparently counts too. So, what am I supposed to do? Well, you're in love. Legend says there's an island that contains 3 copies of the fire structure there. Go there, seek out the death, and face it. I'll be wrong. Okay. I don't know why we need to go to Haiti in order to pick up a structure deck I can find at a Walmart, but probably, huh? This ought to be fun.
The Fire King deck is a strategy that focuses on destruction-based effects, whether that be cards reacting to your monsters being destroyed or effects that cause destruction. Either way, all cards that have Fire King in the name care about destruction in some way or form. In that sense, it's similar to another deck we've recently covered in the series, Dark World, which was a deck that mainly focused on discarding cards and enabled a player to utilize powerful effects off of being triggered by a game mechanic. However, unlike Dark World, Fire Kings are less strict on what counts as a pop for a Fire King to trigger. On top of that, there are plenty more game interactions that destroy monsters more consistently than having to go out of your way to discard a card. Let's talk about monsters one by one and group them based on their function within the deck, either as a floater after destruction or a reactor that reacts when a card is destroyed, starting with the smallest new member, True Fire King Ponix, which has 3 separate effects that put it into both camps. The first effect we'll talk about right now is the one that triggers on normal or special summon, and simply adds a Fire King spell or trap to hand. Useful searcher, but why is there more text on the card? Well, Ponix reactability reads, if your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, with this effect, you don't even have to burn a normal summon in this card to trigger its effect. Simply blow up another monster, from anywhere, it doesn't specify where, and get a free search. It's that simple. To round off this extremely round bird, it has one more floating effect that reads, during your next standby phase after this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, add this card from the graveyard to your hand. This card presents a great resource loop to keep in mind for the future. Summon the card, search a spell trap, blow the card up, repeat the process. Keep that in mind as we discuss future cards that can help facilitate this loop, or benefit from it. Let's move on to some cards with a bit more interaction with our opponent. Fire King Avatar Rangbali and Fire King Avatar Arvada, which both have the effect to negate either a spell or trap or monster effect respectively, only at the cost of destroying a monster in our hand or field. I'm sorry, did I say cost? I meant enabler, as this allows the rest of the cards in our deck to function, which causes these cards to pull double duty as negate and starter. And on top of that, they also have additional effects as well. The Rangbali can special summon itself if a Fire King dies, and when Arvada is destroyed, he allows you to special summon a Tri-type monster from your graveyard, but negate their effects. On field, that is. Next, let's talk about Fire King Avatar Barong, which has the effect of summoning itself when a Fire King dies, much like Rangbali. But what we're looking at is its float effect, as when Barong is destroyed, during the next standby phase of that destruction, Barong allows you to search your deck for a Fire King card and add it to hand. This card is the secondary searcher for the deck, as while it's harder and slower to trigger than Ponix, it allows you to add any in-archetype piece to your hand. The last monsters we'll talk about are the boss monsters of the deck, which will be the cards that benefit the most from the rampant destruction of our cards. The first is an excellent enabler in the form of Fire King High Avatar Garunix, which has two effects, but we only care about the first one. Whenever this card is destroyed by card effect during the next standby phase, it resummons itself and then blows up the rest of the board. This clears your opponent's board and enables our floaters to do their thing. The second big monster we'll talk about is Fire King High Avatar Kirin, which has two effects that you can trigger once per turn. The first allows you to destroy a fire monster from hand or field to special summon Kirin, which enables a float of the target that you popped. The second effect is Kirin's own float ability, as when he's destroyed, allows you to special summon a Fire King from hand or graveyard, then afterward allows you to non-targeting destroy a card on field. The penultimate monster is a retrain of the first Garunix, that being Sacred Fire King Garunix. It has two effects that feed into each other really well. The first allows you to summon Garunix from either hand or graveyard whenever a fire monster dies, which, as we've discussed before, is pretty much going to be happening all the time. The second effect triggers off a summon and allows you to destroy a monster from hand, field, or deck to have Garunix gain half of that monster's attack until the end of the turn. It's an OTK option, it's an enabler, it's a combo starter, it's a lot of things. It's really good and you should play 2 or 3. But what if that bird died? Well, as it's supposed to represent a phoenix, it rises again, and that monster comes in the form of Garunix Eternity, Hyang of the Fire Kings, a rank 8 XZ monster that has 3 whole effects. The first is on XZ summon, and when it's summoned, allows you to blow up every monster that isn't him, much like OG Garunix. Effect number 2 allows you to detach a material to pop a spell or trap on field, then gain 500 attack permanently. And the last effect is its floating effect, as whenever this card dies, it can summon out Fire King monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials it had under it, which could target the materials used to make it, or any of the other monsters in your extremely filled graveyard after all that floating. That's gonna cover the monster lineup. Now we'll cover the spells and traps. Let's start off with the field spell of the deck, Fire King Island, which has 2 effects. The first triggers on destruction and blows up your board, which could be used tactically, but honestly, you'd rather use it for its second effect, which has you choose between either popping a monster from hand or field to search a Fire King monster, or special summoning a Fire Winged Beast from your hand should you control no monsters. Both have their purposes, but mainly we care about the search, as not only does it search, but it also is pulling double duty as an enabler by popping a floater, and searching a reactor to said pop. In order to get into this card, we have a card in the form of Fire King Sanctuary, which has 3 effects. The first triggers on activation and allows you to place the island directly onto the field, notably getting around Ash Blossom by having it hit the board and not your hand. The second effect triggers should anyone dare touch the island and allows you to pop a fire monster in your hand or field instead. Nice protection and an enabler. Finally, the last effect the card has triggers whenever your opponent special summons a monster and allows you to XZ summon using Fire King monsters you control. This allows you to summon Garunix Eternity on your opponent's turn, turning the boss monster into an interruption of all things. This card is an essential piece of the board and an easily accessible thanks to Ponix. Lastly, let's cover the 2 quick play spells, Circle of the Fire Kings and Fire King Skyburn. Circle lets you target a Fire King you control and a Fire King in grave and pops the one on field to revive the one in the grave. Useful recursion in the deck, and the swap can also get extra value off the pop. Last but not least, Skyburn lets you target several cards on your opponent's field up to the number of Fire Kings you control and destroy them, including your own monsters. Fine in its own right and allows targeted removal, though honestly Kirin and Garunix do that job better and more consistently. At least this card can protect your Fire Kings from destruction, but in this deck it feels counterintuitive as we honestly want our cards to die. That's all the cards within the archetype, but what else comes within the structure deck? Well, in terms of relevant reprints, you have a few to choose from. For cards that pertain specifically to the deck, while it doesn't say Fire King in the name, Rekindling is essentially Fire King's Soul Charge, allowing you to special summon as many 200 defense fire monsters from your graveyard as possible, but banishing them during the end phase. This card, much like Soul Charge before it, can throw down a bunch of materials onto the board for our extra deck monsters like Diamond Direwolf, a rank 4 staple, and Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze, which during this current format will see plenty of usage, what with everybody playing some form of fire monster within their deck. Blaster Dragon Ruler of Infernos serves as a great alternative boss monster for the deck that helps pay off graveyard setup that the Fire Kings have in the form of a big body and a recurring pop. And True King Igminazad also serves as a pop outlet for your cards, enabling them to do their floats and setting a big body on field that pulls a Mirror Jade and non-targeting, non-destructive removes a monster on your opponent's field or graveyard by banishing it. Useful tech card, and for budget variants of the deck, running 1 or 2 never really hurt nobody. Then, to speed through some of the more generic staples, Dogoron fills in the role of the resident attribute kaiju within the deck, Flame Veil Counter and Solemn Judgment are the counter traps within the deck if you're looking for a more control variant of the deck, and Droll and Lockbird and Infinite Impermanence are the hand traps inside this deck. Though for the life of me, I will never understand why Ash Blossom wasn't included in this deck. It is literally a fire monster! These reprints are appreciated, and as these cards, while not exactly getting pricey anytime soon, are seeing more consistent play due to their staple-ish nature in the game. That's going to be all the important cards within the structure deck. Now, let's see what we can come up with. Okay, welcome to the deck profile! Nothing really big. This is just basically my basic build that I recommend to people. If you want to tweak around with it, be my guest. But starting off, we're going to start off with our searchers. We've got ourselves 3 copies of Legendary Fire King Ponix for obvious reasons. You're going to be wanting to play 3 of these because you want to be drawing into them and you want to be searching them off of other things. You want to be sending them. There's a lot of things you want to be doing with this card, and it just benefits having multiple copies in rotation all the time. Now, the other searcher you honestly only really need like 1 of is Fire King Avatar Barong. You only need like 1 copy of it because when you need to see it, right, you just send it off of a Garunix and then you're pretty much fine from there. Same instance with the Fire King Avatar Rangbali. The spell trap negate is kind of like, you know, fine, I guess. You can use it, of course, right? But like that's really not the main point of the deck to be like a stun strategy. It's just there for the sake of it. If you want to, you can side it out really easily. It's just that Barong is just a core combo piece for the combo that I'll be showing off later in the video. Rangbali is not really necessary for that, but if you want to play it inside of the main, you can play multiple copies of it if you want. Sub out some of the out-of-archetype cards that are inside of my main deck for more copies of Rangbali if you are into that sort of thing, but I just like playing 1 because I only really need 1 of them. Speaking of cards that you really need, this is going to be the main core of your deck. 3 copies of Arvada for looping reasons, as well as that Monster Negate, just really useful. 3 copies of Kirin for both effects being super useful to us. And then 3 copies of Fire King Garunix, 1 copy of the normal Garunix, and yeah, that is our Fire King monster lineup. They're all really useful and they all have their own purposes. This is an amazing pop outlet. This right here is the ultimate reactor to any one of our pops, and this just gets our entire engine in like running. Like all these past cards kind of rely on the Kirin to pop off pretty much. And then so does the Garunix in some fashion or another, and then this Garunix just kind of ends the game, really. If you throw this thing down at any point in time, you're basically announcing to your opponent, okay, this game is over because I think that like 2 board wipes is going to be enough to take, get rid of you. That's going to cover all of our in-archetype stuff. Now we're going to cover the out-of-archetype things. Next, we've got 1 copy of Sacred Phoenix of Neptus. I didn't cover this inside of the overview, but basically Sacred Phoenix of Neptus is what Garunix is. This Garunix, the original one, the first one, is what normal Garunix is, but for spells and traps. Now, the useful thing about it is that it can be sent off of a Sacred Fire King Garunix in order to board wipe your opponent's spells and traps fairly easily on your own turn, right? It's a little bit slow, a little bit of an older card. However, it has its uses, and it's a level 8 monster, which is useful for XZ summoning. Next, we've got triple copies of True King Igminazad the Vanquisher. He is the another form of like Kirin, where basically you just use him in order to get pop outlets, so that you can get more pop effects going at once, and then you even get a non-targeting, non-destructive removal out of it. Lastly, to round out our main monsters that we're going to be using inside of this deck, we have 1 copy of Blaster Dragon Ruler of Infernos. He has 2 effects that we're we're going to be using inside of the deck. The first effect is going to be him discarding himself in a fire monster in order to destroy on field, and he has a revival effect that is going to bring himself back onto the field and then eventually back into our hand to do the whole graveyard thing again. He's useful because he capitalizes on the graveyard, which none of the other cards really like touch at all. So it's basically prime material for him to just kind of like do his own thing, looping himself every once in a while, because the graveyard is going to remain relatively untouched. Like, you know, say less for like a Garunix or something like that. But yeah, that's going to be covering our main monster lineup. Next, we're going to be covering the hand traps. We've got 3 copies of Duel and Lockbird and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Obviously, you're going to want to be playing 3 copies of both of these cards because they're just really fucking good for this meta right now. Duel and Lockbird is going to be stopping literally every single combo deck in existence, and Infinite Impermanence is going to be doing exactly the exact same thing. Honestly, in terms of hand traps, I know we get Ash Blossom reprinted like 5 million times, but I seriously still do not understand why we don't have Ash Blossom printed inside of this deck. It is a fire monster. It would fit so much more in archetype than Duel and Lockbird or Infinite Impermanence that literally shows off Cyber Dragon Infinity on the card and is not a fire monster. But you know what? I'm willing to let that slide because the rest of the deck is, pretty on theme. Next, we're going to cover our spells and traps. Starting with our spell lineup, we're gone 3 copies of Fire King Sanctuary and 2 copies of Fire King Island. Fire King Sanctuary is going to be finding us Fire King Island, so realistically, we really don't want to draw into the Fire King Island. However, in the rare instances where our Fire King Island is popped, we need to have a backup plan. So, we need to have the extra copy of Fire King Island just in case the other one gets outed for some ungodly reason. Then covering our one-ofs, we've got 1 copy of Circle of the Fire Kings, 1 copy of Fire King Skyburn. We're only really playing these at one-ofs because the Ponix can search them out whenever we need them, and then when we don't need them, we're not going to be seeing them as bricks in our hand. They kind of rely on having an established game state in order to actually function at all, so using them whenever we have nothing is kind of bad, so we really don't want to see them in those instances, which is why we're minimizing them as much as we can and only using them when we see fit. Next, to cover the out-of-archetype stuff, we've got triple copies of Rekindling. For obvious reasons, we're playing the Rekindling just to soul charge our opponent, and then basically this is also a declaration of I am going to win the game this turn, because otherwise you are getting rid of all of your advantage and whatever. Although you can also, if you don't happen to win the game off of a Rekindling play, you can just use the cards that you just made into making, a Link Summon into the extra deck, or an XZ Summon if they happen to share the same numbers for, an XZ Summon or whatever the hell. There's a couple of options you have here, and it's not really restricting at all in the slightest. But yeah, Rekindling at 3. Please play that at 3. It is too good. Next, if we need extra copies of Arvadas, Barongs, Rangbalis, whatever the situation may be, we've got 2 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. We're not exactly dependent on the Fire Formation Tenki, activating. It really is just kind of like bait to see if our opponent is going to take the bait into what we're going to be playing or whatever. But yeah, it also stands as extra copies of the Beast Warrior monsters, should we need them. Then finally, to round things off inside of the deck, we've got 2 copies of Dark Hole. I like running this inside of the main deck as just an easy way of just, clearing the board for no good reason. Just having the extra pop on hand without any strings attached is just kind of nice, and it's useful going first or second, because going first, it activates our, pop effects if we're ever in that bad of a situation, and then going second, you just drop down something you want to float, drop Dark Hole, then not only are you getting the plus off of the Dark Hole killing everything, but you're also getting the floating effect of your Fire King. Those are, kind of situations where, they're kind of... That is really the only reason why Dark Hole exists, but in this deck is kind of the point. So yeah, that's going to round out our main deck lineup. Now let's go into our extra deck. Alright, so for the extra deck, we're going to be starting off with the Xyz monsters. Starting off, we've got 3 copies of the boss monster, Garunix Eternity. This thing is absolutely busted, especially off of the effect of Fire King Sanctuary in order to special summon itself as basically an interruption on your opponent's turn, turning it into a Dark Hole. This is very nice. A card that I neglected to talk about inside of the showcase, Coach King Giant Trainer, is a Fire Xyz monster that you make with 3 level 8 monsters. And basically what he does is that he's a going first card through and through. What you do is you detach material from it, you draw a card, and then reveal it. If it is a monster card, your opponent takes 800 life points, but you can't activate your battle phase the turn you activate that card. However, you can activate this 3 times per turn. I think this is the only card that says thrice per turn on it. Yeah, it's like one of the only cards that I've ever seen that has a thrice per turn clause. Which basically means that you're going to be attaching 3 materials under it, detaching 1, doing the burn, detaching 2, doing the burn again, detaching 3, doing the burn all 3 again. So now you've got a giant body, all of the graveyard setup in the world, and 3 new cards in hand. It's a +3. It is extra burn damage, so just in case you're going into time, you want to be using this going first or something like that. Like, there you go. Boom. Burn damage, I suppose. Also, funnily enough, this card was really expensive during the time of Dark World, when I was making the Dark World structure deck, and then this thing got reprinted, and I'm like, oh shit, well, look at that, there you go. Easy reprints for your Dark World deck. So even if you are not playing this deck, I'd recommend picking up the deck just for the reprints value inside of it. I mean, like, you saw the Joel and Lockbird and the, you know, Imperm already, but you know, a little extra fuel to the fire if you happen to watch the other episode. Speaking of really cool reprints, we've got triple copies of Diamond Direwolf. Diamond Direwolf is a really nice ranked 4 toolbox card that I was using back when I started off in the game. It just takes 2 generic materials, 2 level 4 monsters, and basically what it says is you target one of your tri-type monsters and then 1 card your opponent controls and you pop both of them. Normally, Diamond Direwolf would be targeting itself in like most any other deck, and you'd be getting basically like a free 1-for-1, if you will. But inside of this deck, you want to be actually targeting other cards inside of your field in order to be gaining value off of them being like popped and then floating them and stuff like that. It's really useful in that sense. And if you are really fiending over some rank 4 toolbox stuff, pick this up. Then lastly, to round out our extra deck, we've got the last monster in here. Triple copies of Hida, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. She takes 2 monsters, including 1 fire type, which is really easy, because basically the entire deck, excluding Droll and Lockbird, is fire. And whenever she is summoned, you will be stealing a fire monster from your opponent's graveyard, which is also really easy because everybody happens to be playing fire at the moment, because of Rescue Ace, Diabellstar, this deck, etc, etc, etc. Everybody's wanted to be playing some Fire Kings at the moment. But yeah, she also has a floating effect, funnily enough, and yeah, she's really useful whenever you really don't have anything to be going into at the moment. That's going to be rounding out our extra deck, and as usual, we always like to build a side deck for ourselves inside of these decks with $30, and honestly, this one didn't really turn out that bad either. Alright, so for our going second side, we've got ourselves 1 copy of Sacred Phoenix of Neptus. Basically, the theory behind this is that we're going to be milling this off of a Garunix, and then next turn, whatever our opponent has set for us, we're going to be, hopefully, living through that turn, and then popping their spells and traps so that they have less interactability with us so that we can try to go in for an OTK before they can kill us. Next, we've also got 2 copies of Dogoran. Dogoran is the kaiju inside of the deck. It is basically just like if your opponent has a problem monster that you can't deal with any of the other 5 million other pops inside of the deck, you just tribute it away and it'll do just fine, I guess. Next, we're moving on to our spells and traps. We've got triple copies of Herald of the Abyss. Now, I will admit, I severely misunderstood just how Herald of the Abyss is supposed to work. Now that I know better, here, let me explain to you how Herald of the Abyss is supposed to work. Basically what you do is you declare a type and an attribute of a monster. It doesn't have to be on field. And your opponent is forced to send 1 monster that meets those, like, criteria that you state out, and then afterwards, Your opponent cannot activate the effects of that type and attribute of monster until the end of the turn. Now basically what that's supposed to do is that you're supposed to use this preemptively before your opponent is able to activate said monster, right? So, denying them the interactability of that monster. It is a preemptive tool, you know? You're supposed to use that going second, right? And also, it helps if you know what you're going into, like, firsthand. Like, if you know what your matchup is going to look like, you can preemptively call, okay, I'm going to call, like, Dark Spellcaster, and then, like, immediately negate all of the, you know, things that would be, like, Dark Spellcasters and stuff like that, right? So it's very matchup dependent, but I'd say right around now, if you know what you're doing, I feel like Herald of the Abyss is going to do you some good, so try it out. And then last, our going first side, we've got triple copies of Torrential Tribute, triple copies of Power Sink Stone, which is basically our cheap-ass version, our poor man's version of Skill Drain, which, funnily enough, is inside of the Dark World Structure deck. If you want to be picking that up, pick it up right now, because you're going to need it inside the side. Skill Drain inside of this deck, much for like the same reason that you use Skill Drain inside of Dark World, is because most of the Fire King effects are going to be happening in the hand, in the graveyard, like in other places that are not the field. So you can nullify the field, get rid of your opponent's interactive ability, while you have literally all the gas in the situation. And then finally, for our very few instances we're going to be going into time with this deck, triple copies of Spiritual Fire Art Kurenai. But anyways, that is going to be the deck profile. Now I'm going to show you what this deck can do. Alright, this is going to show you exactly what the deck can do with exactly a singular card, and that is Ponix. All you need in order to start off this basic combo with the deck is one copy of the starter deck, trust me, and you only need one, and one Ponix in hand. That is all you need. Anyways, let me show you how this combo works. So, firstly, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start off with a normal summon of Ponix. Then you're going to activate its effect in order to search for Fire King Sanctuary. Now, activate the Fire King Sanctuary, activate its effect, and you're going to place Fire King Island in your field spell zone. Then Fire King Island's effect is going to activate. You are going to pop your Ponix in order to search for Sacred Fire King Garunix. From there, it's going to go into your hand, and then Sacred Fire King Garunix is going to hear the Ponix die, special summoning itself onto the field. Then, the Sacred Fire King Garunix's effect is going to activate when it's special summoned, destroying from deck a copy of Barong, and then from here, you're going to want to pass turn. Now, that seems like the end of the combo, right? We've got our big boss monster on field or whatever, yada yada yada, but that's not it. See, we've got a couple more things that we can do here. Now, your opponent's going to draw, and they're going to go into the standby phase. From here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to chain Barong Chainlink 1 in the standby phase, and then Ponix Chainlink 2. Chain blocking the Barong and then protecting the search, right? So, you're going to want to add the Ponix back to hand, and then Barong is going to search for you a copy of Kieran, adding it to your hand. Then from here, at the earliest convenience, you're going to want to activate Kieran's effect to pop the Ponix in hand in order to special summon the Kieran, and then the next time your opponent special summons a monster, or whenever it is most convenient, or whenever there's a choke point or something like that, whenever you deem fit, you activate the effect of Fire King Sanctuary in order to overlay into a copy of Garunix Eternity. So, we just got to a board wipe with setup and recursion and a Fire King Sanctuary and a Searcher. We got all of this off of a singular card. That is it. And from here, the combos can get even worse. Trust me. Like, if you have more extenders in hand, you can set up negates, you can be setting up interruptions on this turn, even more than you already have. You can be setting up so many different things, just depending on what you draw, right? And that's going to do it for the basic combo inside of this deck. There's more that I can go in depth about when it comes to this sort of thing. However, I'd rather just show you. Because I've been away for quite some time, I wanted to give you guys something special. So instead of just telling you how my tournament went, I'm going to show you exactly how this deck works. It's time to go up against Altergeist. And also to protect the pride of my channel.
First or second?
First.
What a surprise. Alright, make your move.
Well, another seek.
Okay.
No.
Sure.
The creeper.
Sure.
Let's look at that.
That's fine.
Marvelous.
God, I wish Ash Blossom was in this deck. It's a fire monster. It would have fit so perfectly.
Should have. Marvelous.
Sure, that's fine.
Special.
Yep.
Then Marvelous. Bring back all the C.
Okay.
Then we'll go, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Yep.
and then it'll be your turn.
Cool. Alright, my move?
Yep.
Draw for turn. Stand by me. Cards in hand.
3.
Okay. We're gonna activate fire formation tank.
I'm gonna change spoofing, shuffling, all this.
Sure. Rang Volley to my hand.
Got it. I'm gonna add Conk.
Sure.
New shape?
Sure.
What's a bigger?
Alright.
Effect?
Yeah. Okay. Normal summon Fire King Avatar Arvada. Okay.
Yeah.
We're then gonna activate Darkle.
Next you.
Chain Arvada. Is that okay?
That is... Yeah, it's fine.
Let's fucking go! Everything dies.
Hexteo 1, Velocity 2.
Sure, that's fine. And also on that chain, I'm also going to chain Rang Bali. Okay. Rang Bali!
Pulse.
Cool.
So, pulse effect?
Sure, that's fine. Baker. Alright, cool. Activate Sanctuary? Is that okay? Cool. Place Fire King Island. Activate Fire King Island. Any response?
No.
Okay. We're gonna pop the Rang Bali in order to search for the Garunix. Garunix add to hand. Garunix heard that one of his guys died, so he's about to pull up. Is that okay?
That is okay.
Special.
Oh, wait.
Garunix effect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Pop the Kieran. Kieran effect to revive and pop. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Arvada. We're gonna put up an Arvada and then we're gonna pop the... I'm gonna pop this moving.
Got it.
We are going to activate Rekindling.
Got it.
Cool. Special summon Rangbali, special summon Kieran. Rangbali into the Wallace.
We'll go Conk here.
Sure. Then we'll go Arvada into the Wallace. Then Kieran into the pick. And Garunix into the... main phase 2. We're going to link off the... I'm gonna send the Garunix, and I'm gonna send the Kieran in order to special summon Hida the Fire Charmer Ablaze. When she's link summoned, I look at my opponent's graveyard and special summon something that is fire.
Okay.
Your Hextia is mine now. I'm then going to end my turn, and then the Rank Ball is gonna die.
Sure. Draw for turn. Stand by. Main. Go pop. There. Draw 2.
Sure.
I'm gonna set 2.
God, imagine if we could...
Marionette effect.
Thinking...
Chain Arvada to negate.
Alright.
I'm gonna pop the new chain.
Okay.
Things are gonna happen here. A Garunix heard that one of his fire boys got popped, so he's gonna pull up.
Oh,
And then the
okay.
Ihida is gonna do her own thing.
Okay.
Or a Ponix. I'm gonna pop a Kieran.
Okay.
So, Kieran effect.
Okay.
We're gonna special summon the Ponix, and then pop something on field. Is that okay? Alright. We're gonna pop that face down. I'm gonna guess that's the protocol. Let's fucking go. New chain. Ponix effect to search.
Okay.
Alright, cool. We are going to add a Fire King Skyburn.
Okay.
Come my deck and then you may continue.
Alright.
Alright. Keep going.
Enter battle.
Sure. You're gonna kill your own Hextia.
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you. Give that.
My move? Alright, cool. We are going to draw for turn. Stand by. We are going to activate the effect of Fire King Island to pop the Garunix
I'm
in
gonna
order to search.
chain Manifestation.
Manifestation. That's fine. So we're going to pop the Garunix in order to search.
Next year.
We're going to search for the Kieran. New chain. Yeah, sure. What you gonna do? The effect to special summon itself, I'm gonna activate Arvada effect in response. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Negate the activation. So, new chain. Garunix heard that one of his boys died, so it's gonna pull up.
Around her.
Alright, cool. Garunix effect on pull up. Alright, cool. Pop the Arvada. Arvada effect on death allows me to special summon a tri-type.
Okay.
Cool. Special summon Kieran. Yeah, that'd be funny. Overlay. Garunix Eternity. Garunix Eternity effect, his main goal is to blow up.
Nice.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Everything dies.
Include yours or no?
Yeah, including my one Arvada.
Alright, Hextia.
That is okay. In response to that floating effect, Ponix is gonna hear that one of his boys died and he's gonna pull up. Is that okay?
Okay.
This is gonna trigger on a new chain, so I'll just let you do your thing.
Yeah, sure.
Manifestation?
Yeah.
Sure. New chain, Ponix effect to search.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna add a Circle of Fire Kings to my hand.
Got it.
Next, we are going to activate the effect of Kieran in hand. He's going to pop the Ponix in order to summon himself out.
Got it.
Ponix will return.
Oh no.
We're only gonna enter the battle phase. We're gonna bonk in for 54.
Whew.
You're not dead. Very close. And then... Wait a minute, I think I can just end the game right here. Unless you have anything to stop this, I'm gonna activate Circle.
No, I do not.
Yeah, so... Go into
Okay.
we cooking! Game 2.
Okay.
Alright, game 2, first or second?
First.
Obviously.
Set 1, set 2, set 3.
Fuck is
Normal
this?
marionette.
Sure.
Critical.
Cool. Alright, my move. Draw for turn. Stand by main. We're going to activate Fire King Island. We are going to...
Oh wait, then I'm gonna chain spoofing,
Spoof?
and then I'm gonna chain something else.
Sure, it's fine. Sure.
Oh, shuffle.
No, okay.
Is it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do your thing. Go
Thinker.
ahead, do your dance. Yeah,
Uh,
that's your chance. Do your dance. The Space Jam.
Think. Go silk this.
Cool. I'm gonna normal summon a legendary Fire King Ponix. Is that okay? Effect.
Protocol.
Protocol. What's that do?
I pop one. I negate and destroy.
Negate and destroy. Fucking A. Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna activate Herald of the Abyss. I'm gonna pay 1,500 life points and declare.
What the heck is this?
Win the spellcasters. Now, my opponent must send one face-up monster with that declared type and attribute from their field to the grave if possible, and for the rest of the turn you can't activate. Oh fuck. That's so fucking pointless. Wait, I should have used that earlier. God damn it. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Hello. Fuck. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna activate Fire King Island. Oh, does this pop for cost? Yeah, it does. Alright, cool. I'm gonna pop a for cost. Is that okay? Can I play the game, please?
What does this do?
Let's
Searching?
search, yes.
Oh.
Fuck! You're enough.
Yes, okay.
Okay, cool.
Go,
We're gonna special summon a
pop
Ponix.
effect thing, whatever.
Pop the protocol. Fuck that shit. Okay, and then we're gonna set one and then pass turn. Go ahead.
And draw. Set.
Do it again.
Got it. We're gonna manifest.
Manifest.
Which?
Sure.
Yeah. Do Faker. Effect. Okay. Maul Wisp.
It's a special.
Yeah. So Maul Wisp summons itself with the Maul Wisp effect gets Silk negated.
You special summoned?
Yeah.
Ugh!
Oh my god.
You gotta stop it! You gotta stop it! You gotta stop it, Kay! Are you gonna stop it?
I can't! Alright, I will Silk Bounce. Faker and
Give me that back. Oh, fuck.
And
This? Back to my hand?
and then also chain spoofing.
Onto what?
Mauls.
Small was true.
Yeah. This goes by my
Ponix dies.
this goes by
Okay. Way to get value. Way to get value.
Okay, alright, so I will just because I still have my normal seek also silk effect.
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
seek.
No. That effect to float is fine, but the island stays.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Incaribo.
Sure.
Oh, seek effect.
That's fine.
Conk.
We still good.
Set one. That. Bonk. Yay.
Alright, cool.
And go ahead.
Alright, my move. Draw for turn. Stand by. Onyx comes back. First, we are going to normal summon Onyx. Onyx effect.
To search. I'm just gonna change.
Gonna grab a Gonna grab Skyburn.
Lipska. New chain.
Sure.
Alright. Faker.
Faker effect.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Maul Wisp. Yes. Maul Wisp. And then Maul Wisp.
That's fine.
Okay. So,
So, sure.
I cannot use its effects.
I'm gonna activate Skyburn. We're gonna pop Ponix and then pop the protocol.
Pop Onyx, pop the protocol.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go. Even though it's a -1 in my equipment, but you know what? It's fine. I don't care about that. Then Ponix is gonna hear that Ponix died, so then we're gonna special summon Ponix.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We're then going to activate Fire King Island effect. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go. Pop the Ponix. Grab the Grunix. Garunix is gonna hear that his boy died, so he's gonna pull up. Okay.
Yep.
Garunix effect. We're going to pop Fire King High Avatar Gargs. We're gonna enter the battle phase.
Okay.
We're going to bonk into the Linker though.
I'm gonna call
Really? That's fine.
my boy. Protect my boy at all costs.
Go ahead.
Okay. Draw for turn.
Do you have anything during the standby phase?
No.
Alright, cool. One of the Ponixes are gonna come back to my hand. More importantly, Fire King High Avatar Garunix is going to special summon itself and then blow up the board.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Is that okay?
Yes, but
Okay.
you gotta let me do something.
Okay. This starts a chain, it's all good.
Alright, we're gonna Silk Bounce Multi-Faker.
Sure.
That one, I guess.
Sure. And then
and spoofing.
Oh, you're gonna spoof too?
Yes.
Sure, that's fine.
Spoof, Malvis.
Okay. So then
These guys.
Then those die.
Bye-bye. Silk Effect.
Sure.
Protocol.
Alright, now you can continue.
Normal
doing
Melusine.
Uh-huh.
Link 1.
Sure.
Again. Melusine Effect. All Wisp.
Sure.
All Wisp Effect.
In response, I'm going to chain Kieran, popping the Ponix in my hand
Okay.
in order to special summon Kieran.
Okay.
So you can special summon the Maulwisp.
Yes.
That's fine. And then are you gonna declare Maulwisp's special effect?
Yes.
Cool. In response, I will chain Garunix because he heard his homie die.
I see.
So then Garunix special summons itself onto the same chain.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you can go ahead and special summon your guy.
Silk. Go Link 2.
New chain. Yeah, in response. So yeah, so new chain,
Okay.
Garunix effect. Is that okay? Baron?
Okay. We're gonna Link 2 first, yeah.
Sure.
Pass.
Cool. My move, draw for turn, stand by. Do you have anything in the standby phase?
No.
Okay, cool. Baron, Chainlink 1, Ponix, Chainlink 2.
Okay.
Cool. Ponix is gonna come back, Baron's gonna search.
Got it.
We're gonna add a Garunix to hand.
Okay.
Overlay?
Okay.
Garunix Eternity! His main goal is to blow up.
I will chain protocol.
Sure.
It's all perfect.
Yeah?
Get out of here.
Negate and destroy?
Yes.
Cool. New chain. I think that made you. I think that may have done you more harm than good.
Oh god. Next year?
Yeah, hold on. So Garunix Chainlink 1, Garunix Chainlink 2, Ponix Chainlink 3.
Oh god.
That okay?
Next year?
Chainlink 4, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
So go ahead, do your search.
Okay.
These guys are going to hear their homie die and then come back.
Uh-huh.
And then this one is going to special summon some homies.
That was 5.
What up?
That was 5 summons.
Was it?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fuck. Was I counting? Shit.
But I was.
You were? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's a huge ass rock though. I will give it that. Alright, that's fine. You're gonna put it into attack or defense?
Attack.
Attack?
Yeah.
Okay, but I am going to get some triggers here. So this is going to send something, so I might as well do some follow-up here. So we'll grab the Arvada. We'll put the Arvada in grave. So these are all gonna get tributed, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. I'm gonna get a huge. You're gonna get a huge rock.
I get a huge rock?
Yeah, you get that rock, and then I get a
you
token.
get another rock.
Yeah.
This is the rock I get.
Yes, that's the rock you get. This is the rock that I get. New chain. Arvada on destruction is going to special summon something. Is that okay? I'm gonna have it do Kieran. We're going to Fire King Island. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pop a monster in hand or field.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop the Kieran
Got it.
in order to search for. Or actually, we're gonna put Ponix in my hand. There's so much shit going on now. You've complicated things. You've complicated things. Why have you complicated things?
I don't know. That's kind of what Geist does.
Kieran, effect on destruction to special and then pop one. Is that okay?
Yes.
Cool. We're going to special out the Arvada
Yeah.
and then pop the protocol.
Yep.
Okay. I'm actually gonna put this over on my hands. We're then going to. Oh, I don't like this. We're gonna put up a Fire King Sanctuary and then pass turn to you. Go ahead.
Alright. Draw up the turn.
Yeah.
We'll go with personal spoofing, shuffling faker.
Sure.
Mellow Seek.
Sure.
Gonna normal Mellow Seek.
Okay.
And I do not have anything. But
Link off the rock?
no, I'm not gonna link off. I like my
Okay.
I have a book.
Sure. Okay.
So Mellow Seek 1, Pookery 2.
Thinking chain Arvada to the Pookery,
Okay.
negate, and then pop my Ponix.
Got it.
But you still get the Meloseek searches.
Mellow Seek gets the search, let's go Maulwisp.
New chain.
Ooh.
New chain, Garunix effect
Okay.
is gonna pull up. Your Maulwisp is gonna activate first, but then Garunix is gonna do its thing to special.
Okay.
Or pop.
Pop, yeah.
Please tell me I have a third Kieran in here. Let's go. Kieran. Kieran effects.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna special summon a Garunix and then pop one on the field.
So does Maulwisp effect still go?
What's up? Yeah, Maulwisp effect still goes off. I'm gonna pop the spoof.
So Maulwisp, let's bring back spoof. Got it.
In response to the special summon, Fire King Sanctuary effect. His main goal is to blow up
Every
and act like he don't know nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Asteria effect.
New chain Arvada effect. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna special summon. I already popped the Ponix, so I'm gonna special the Barong. Yeah. I'm gonna special the Barong in defense. Go ahead.
Yeah. Asteria will grab a faker.
Sure.
I'm gonna set one and pass.
Alright, during the end phase, Arvada is going to pop the Barong. And that's all that happens. My move. Drop a turn. Stand by. Few things are gonna happen here. Ponix Chainlink 1, Barong Chainlink 2. Wait, other way around. Barong Chainlink 1, Ponix Chainlink 2. So, Ponix is gonna add itself back. Barong is going to search for a... I'm gonna add rank Vale at that point.
Got it.
Meanwhile, yeah, spoof away the multi-faker so you can grab a multi-faker, then activate multi-faker.
I don't have to do that, but I'll activate the multi-faker.
Sure.
Multi-faker.
That's fine, go ahead. Great editor, sure. We're in a normal summon ring Vale. We're then going to activate. We're gonna activate Garunix Eternity, detaching the Garunix in order to pop a Speller Trap and then have it gain 500.
Oh god.
We're going to pop this face down. Wow! I dodged the fucking bullet. Jesus Christ. We are. Oh yeah, this is also gonna gain 500.
Yep.
Activate Fire King Island. Is that okay?
Okay.
Cool. We're gonna pop the Ponix in hand in order to search for a Arvada at hand. New chain. Garunix is gonna hear that one of his homies died, so he's gonna pull up. New chain again, Garunix effect.
Okay.
Please tell me I have another Arvada in here. Let's go. Arvada effect. Especially that summon out a Kieran. Enter battle.
Yeah.
I guess. Rangbali into you, I guess. Why do you have 2 Drowning Mirror Forces?
Why not?
It's fine. Activate Rangbali effect. We're going to pop the Kieran in order to negate. Replay. Rangbali is good. It's gonna happen. I don't know what to tell you, man. New chain. Kieran on pop.
Yeah.
We're gonna special summon Garunix and then pop the pop that.
Okay.
Alright. Then Bonk for 27 plus 12.
Oh jeez, I think I'm dead.
I think you're alive.
I don't know. We'll see.
27. 35.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Let's go! GG!
GG.
Fucking hell! That was a hell of a grind game, Jesus
That
fucking
went
Christ.
on for so long.
That went on for too long.
Freaking nib.
Yeah, no, the nib would have saved you if it weren't for the fact that I was able to float an Arvada into a Kieran and then keep the engine going.
Yeah, literally.
Basically, what the deck can do,
Even after a nib.
even after a nib and multiple board wipes of my own volition, so long as there is a singular spark alive, I still have enough life to finish the game, right?
Right.
So that is something that I actually very much appreciate this deck for. It is, yeah, it is.
It's a good deck. It's a really good deck. I see.
This deck, as I've said within the recording, does one thing over most other structure decks within this price range: having a really good grind game. So long as there is a single Fire King left to pop, the spark is still alive for Garunix and the rest of the reactors to make a fiery comeback. However, that doesn't mean that the deck is perfect. There are plenty of flaws apparent within this form of the deck. The lack of a solid board presence, besides a giant Xyz bird for an end board, and a lack of variability when you get to that point. Once your opponent is privy to what your main goal is, it gets really hard to capitalize on blowing up and acting like you don't know nobody. Luckily, thanks to recent additions within Age of Overlord and the Rarity Collection, it's now easier than ever to upgrade this deck's consistency, vary up the deck's end board depending on the matchup, and overall, increase the deck's performance for under $10 per card. In terms of directions people like taking this deck, there are 2 routes you can go if you're looking to stay within a budget. To start with the cheaper option, throw in a small Dogmatica engine to form Fire King Dogmatica, which takes the lack of extra deck usage and turns that into a toolbox to punish your opponent with. The extra deck is just kind of their free space that you can use to make Dogmatica Maximus gain extra value from your Fire Kings by sending a card like Tri-Brigade Shureg to add a Tri-type with a level less than or equal to the number of Tri-types banished. But if you want some spice in your deck, then say hello to another synergy with the Brandon storyline, that being Tri-Brigade. With the inclusion of Fire Attribute Tri-Brigade Fractal and Tri-Brigade Kit along with the rest of the Tri-Brigade monsters, it allows you to pop the Kit, get its Foolish effect, trigger the reactor effects of Ponix and Garunix, link the Fire Kings into the Tri-Brigade monsters, and put Tri-type Fire Kings into the grave for future link summons off of the effect of Fractal. The 2 archetypes feed into each other in such a way that it reminds me of Invoked Shadal, the way the 2 archetypes meld into another seamlessly, opening up plenty of non-linear, sometimes even Build-A-Bear combos that result in some genuinely impressive boards that neither deck can pull off on their own. Finally, if you want to stay pure, here's the upgrades that you can play in either variant. The Fire Attribute Ash Blossom is an easy include in the deck, and 1-for-1 as an extra copy of Ponix, but besides that, most of the deck's core is finished within the structure deck. All you gotta do is build the extra deck! Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, while it might be in the wrong deck, is a great addition to Fire Kings due to its effect when a monster is summoned under one of its arrows. It allows you to recur a fire monster to your hand, and it re-enables Kieran, putting a potentially non-topped Ponix into your hand to try that again, and throws a Rangbali in hand to be resummoned out fairly easily. Since we already have Hida inside of the structure deck, we can use her to facilitate a combo with the monster that we stole from our opponent's graveyard and link climb into Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians, whose effect lets us summon a monster from the graveyard equal to the number of spells on field or graveyard. Normally, we'd go into Access Code Talker for this combo, but at the time of this recording, that card is still expensive as hell, so as an alternative that's cheaper and kinda fits the deck, try Amphibious Swarmship Ambla Whale, who takes the same materials, is a fire monster, and gains attack based on the number of link monsters in grave. It also, funnily enough, has a floating effect that allows you to special summon a link 3 or lower monster from either graveyard, but unlike the Fire Kings, has an effect in grave as well. While in grave, if a link 3 or lower would be destroyed, you can banish this card from your grave to non-target destroy card on the field. Not a bad final effect to cap off a solid, cheap boss monster. But with that, that's going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end of this video, and I apologize for being stuck on a boat for 3 months, but now that I'm off of the boat and editing this video and finally about to post it, I should be able to keep back up with the more consistent uploading schedule for this new year. With that being said, this is Puzzlomino passing turn. See you around.
Yada yada yada. Imagine you're going to fucking video podcast like this. That's so funny.
New year, new Vale.
Fuck. Actually, this is third. It's moving. It's moving. Oh god. Oh, wait. Shit. Hold on. I gotta fix the fucking camera. Hold on. There you go. There we go. All right. Now it's there tight. All right. Cool.